Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, or Chakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I've got this AP News article pulled up. It says Mayorkas warns FEMA doesn't have enough funding to last through hurricane season. And this came out October 2nd, or at least it was updated on October 2nd. And I've been seeing talks of this about FEMA not having enough money to get through this hurricane season a lot, especially over the last few days. And when you go to do some Google research on it, fact checkers automatically pop up, or wrong think checkers pop up and try to tell you that that's not true, and that money did not go to migrants, but the optics of it look really bad as far as your everyday Babylonian citizen or United States citizen would see it, because they've seen, not just over the last week or two, because even just over the last 2 weeks, America has sent $8 billion to Israel and $8 billion to Ukraine, and then another $500 million to Taiwan, and then various other spending that they've done over the years. And the citizens are seeing this and wondering why all this money is being sent away, plus why are they not helping their own citizens in a time of need, especially with what's going on with Western Carolina and around Asheville. That was a major disaster for them, and they're not receiving the funding or the help that they would typically get for such a disaster, and they're watching this money or funding go to various other places, including to migrants. And at the end of it, the bottom of this is going to cause sedition. Lord willing it does, at least, because these people are seeing that their government doesn't actually have their back and are against them, which is going to make them eventually turn on the government. Maybe it's not just this, and maybe some more things will happen, but people are waking up to understanding that their government, the US of A, or Babylon the Great in the Bible, they're seeing that they're actually their enemy. And the scriptures speak of this. It says the Egyptian will be against the Egyptian. Yahweh Shai also said that nation will turn against nation and kingdom against kingdom. So that's showing the civil wars that are prophetically, or that are prophesied to happen. And they will happen sooner or later, but we are at the end, so it's going to be sooner rather than later. This article says the Federal Emergency Management Agency can meet immediate needs but does not have enough funding to make it through the hurricane season. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas told reporters Wednesday. The agency is being stretched as it works with states to assess damage from Hurricane Helene and delivers meals, water, generators, and other critical supplies. The storm struck Florida last week, then plowed through several states in the southeast, flooding towns and killing more than 160 people. And since then, it's been updated. The last I saw was over 200 people. And then when you think of Western North Carolina, there are a ton of people still missing. So you should expect those numbers to just keep shooting up. And then plus, Hurricane Milton is coming. It's supposed to hit Florida on Wednesday night. And that's already become a Category 5 hurricane. So you could just expect these numbers to go up and what's needed for funding to go up. Moving on back to the article. It says Mayorkas was not specific about how much additional money the agency may need, but his remarks on Air Force One underscored concerns voiced by President Joe Biden and some lawmakers earlier this week that Congress may need to pass a supplemental spending bill this fall to help states with recovery efforts. Says we are meeting the immediate needs with money that we have. We're expecting another hurricane hitting, Mayorkas said. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season. Hurricane season runs June 1st to November 30th, but most hurricanes typically occur in September and October. And so, with all this money that's been getting sent to various other places, these people are wondering why there's no help for them, no funding for them. And a lot of them are thinking that it's from, or at least in Western Carolina, they're thinking it's because the government actually wants them out of there because of the lithium deposits underneath them and the quartz deposits that are underneath them. And this isn't going to end well. And we're seeing it blossom and blossom. And as more hurricanes happen and as more word gets out from what's going on in the Carolinas, especially with now the people are talking about how they smell the bodies there and how they're getting help from regular civilians, but they're not getting a lot of government help. And you even notice as they were starting to say this that there was minimal government help to start at least being shown so that they could show themselves as trying to help. But it's not good enough at this point. And the bottom of this is that these people are going to eventually turn seditious, and that's most Americans are seeing this, or Babylonians are seeing this, and they will eventually turn on their rulers, on their leaders. And not to make this long at all, but this is the beginnings of 2nd Esdras chapter 15. So we're going to start at 14. And not saying that this one event is what's going to set it off, but I'm saying this is a part of it. It's a part of people waking up and seeing that this rulership is anti-life and that it's an enemy to humanity, basically. And these people are going to go against it. But as the hopeful elect, we're here to watch and warn. We're not to participate in any of this, but it's fun to watch. 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Woe meaning destruction. And there is a lot of destruction that is coming to this earth, this whole world. And the Lord has it planned out, and a lot of different judgments, from natural disasters, as you saw with Hurricane Helene, to pestilences, to animals or the beasts changing places and the animals actually attacking people, to apparitions being seen, to civil wars, to world wars, to race wars, to an actual coming in of Yahushua with his chariots, an invasion of this place as well. And so there's various judgments to come. So that's why it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And with all of the division that the politics here create, this is very easy to see, because you can imagine, no matter who gets in to the office during this after the election, no matter who gets in, people are going to be upset about it and are going to want to actually fight about it, no matter what the outcome is. It says, "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men." And let's go and find that word sedition. We'll get it from the Etymon online. Rebellion, uprising, revolt, fictitious commotion in the state, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. And so these people are seeing that their government does not have their back and is actually against them. And so sedition will blossom from that. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." All of these things that have been happening with Hurricane Helene and the cleanup of it, it could and it will be at least one small piece in their mind of why the government is against them, or of why they have to go against their government because they're not supporting them in the way that they should. And so this is just one small thing. We still have the elections to come up, and this economy is still going to fall. They're just holding it up by a string right now. And eventually these Babylonians will have had enough. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chachwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.